What is the most unforgettable Reddit post that everyone needs to read? The lazy military officer who turned the ship so he could eat a bagel without the sun in his eyes. Can somebody provide a link to this beauty? Carbon monoxide story. Someone made a post about how they purposely like to block speeding cars and drive slow to make them mad, and a treeaborist gave probably one of the best responses I've ever read and has stuck with me. There was this story about a girl that was kidnapped as a child. And she was saved by some random guy in a stairwell who absolutely kicked the kidnapper's ass. She was saved just because one dude had the social awareness to notice that something was wrong. I need to read it again but can't seem to find it sadly. Edit. Thanks to you, Yahahawumi, the story was found here. The insurance adjuster who gives really good tips about filing for claims. It's usually linked in every house flood, fire post we see. I don't have the link but someone does, I'm sure. Edit. This is the comment. This one is extremely disturbing, but it was a post from a man looking for advice on leaving his wife. Not too long after, he posted an update that his wife murdered their children. I forget what it's called, but there is a thread where a guy makes an account just to roast the people on grilled cheese and how most of the things that they post are in fact melts. He then tells his life story about how he's been eating grilled cheeses 40+ years and that the thread was in fact a disgrace. I mean, everything at the Museum of Reddit will surely be of your interest. But if I have to think about one, the first that comes to mind is the story of the poop knife over at TIFU. Every now and then something will remind me of this and I'll read it again. Truly crazy story. I think the guy documenting his spiraling into a full-blown heroin addiction was one of the most disturbing and impressive things I read here. I forgot the name of the account unfortunately. I found it. He did a bunch of them as. The last is 4 years ago. Hope he's doing well. You, Spontaneous H. Today you, tomorrow me. The story of a guy being helped on the side of the road by a lovely Mexican family who would take nothing return. Opening square bracket. If you're having a crap day, go here and just start scrolling. AKA the story about Kevin. This one, where a user lived a happy life with a wife and children only for it to all be a coma dream. The guy that said aliens were going to come. Opening square bracket. Their arrival date was supposed to be yesterday. Reading this thread makes me realize there hasn't been a new legendary Reddit post in quite a while. Help, Reddit turned Spanish and I cannot undo it. The community got together and decided to troll op. It was awesome. It's more about the comment, but I too chose this guy's dead wife. Who was the one guy who would go into random subs, and give a really sincere, in-depth response, but it always ended with his dad beating him within an inch of his life. He always tricked and it ended with something along those lines. Was great material. Edit. You, Roger Simon 10. Go read his posts, they are just strange and wonderfully funny somehow, ha ha ha, so good. This one's always stuck with me, the stranger under the bed. Creeps the shit out of me thinking about it. Non-Japanese on Reddit. What comes to your mind when you think of the country Japan? The memory of my friend getting trapped in a bathroom because he didn't understand the voice commands. Everybody very busy. Like, very busy. Cherry blossoms. Cartoons and men in business suits working themselves to death. Wonderful food. Incredible vending machine variety. World War II war crimes and the government's refusal to acknowledge its past. Brutal working life, but getting better. Lovely heritage sites like Osaka Castle. Government doesn't seem to know how sex works. Nintendo. Toyota production system. Godzilla. In my childhood Urdu, native language, book, there was an article about Japan. A lot of other pretty things. One quality of Japanese people, written in the article, stuck in my mind. The context was, Japanese wrap your purchases in such a beautiful paper that instead of the thing you bought, you want to keep that paper. So whenever I think about Japan, these lines pop up in my mind. Tentacles. Initial D. Dudes falling in love with pillows. Good food. The amount of people who worship it. Don't get me wrong, I love the country, but the amount of people who genuinely think Japan is like an IRL slice of live anime is ridiculous. I'll start. Dogs that never bark and standing bars. Hentai and bombs. Sengoku period, Ghost of Tsushima, anime, Tokyo, food I have little intention of trying, and Mount Fuji. A beautiful country, manga and seafood. Also, killing dolphins since that documentary. Fuck you Japan. Small interiors, e.g., short doorways and crowdedness. Opaque social rules. Lots of racism and xenophobia. And massive sexism.